What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. King Ryan Garcia gets the biggest win of his young career by knocking out Cool Hand Luke Campbell, aka Robin Thicke. Lost without you, how does it feel? Yeah, the biggest win of his young career by Ryan Garcia. He had to go through some trials and tribulations, got dropped by a sweeping left hook in the second round. Said later on that he was looking down at his ankle because he had hurt his ankle during training camp and he was trying to plant cautiously. That moment of unfocusedness cost him as he got dropped, but he got up quickly and reestablished control of the ring, quickly backing up Luke Campbell. And he was just aggressive in that fight, man. He was letting his hands go, got a lot of speed, throwing combinations, and he set up the liver shot beautiful. He faked like he was going up top, just enough for Luke Campbell to bring his guard up, and then he hit him with a liver shot. Closed the show. Luke Campbell tried to get up, but those liver shots are even more devastating than the shots to the head, man. He couldn't get up from that punch, and it was just a good performance. Now, he took a lot of straight left hands in that fight. He's got to tighten that up, but, you know, when you're fighting a southpaw, that's what you got to watch out for, that straight left. That's what Manny Pacquiao has made his bed in his boxing career with the straight left hand. A lot of people like to talk about the fast combinations, but that sneaky left hand is really what befuddles a lot of his opponents. And Luke Campbell had success throughout that fight. Now, he didn't let the left hand go nearly enough to really take control of the fight, but he was able to keep Ryan Garcia honest at times with that straight left, but just to not let his hands go. Fought too cautious of a fight. Let Ryan Garcia be the aggressor. He was constantly fighting off the back foot, and he was just basically trying to counter what Ryan Garcia was doing. Ryan Garcia was just basically beating him on just activity, explosiveness, and quickness. And he did a good job, man. He's got the he kind of reminds me of Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of people say Amir Khan. I don't think he Amir Khan's problem was he stayed in the pocket too long. He was falling in love with his combination. He throw his combinations instead of getting in and getting out. He'd get in and stay in. He would allow a guy like a Danny Garcia, who was a great counter puncher, to counter him with the left hook. And that, once he was hurt, you know, he couldn't recover. He would be, you know, soon to be knocked out after he was hurt. He just doesn't, his recuperating skills and his survival skills were just not on par. Ryan Garcia was dropped, but he got up. And it seemed like to me it was more of a, I'm not gonna say it was a flash knockdown. It was probably he was hit with a good shot, but it never to the point where he got up and he was having to walk around and gather himself, or you could see that he's on shaky legs. It was never to that point. He just got up and went right back to work, man. And that was just a tremendous performance by him, and just a guy that you see, okay, he went through some adversity. Everything ain't been going great for him throughout his young career. He's never had to face any kind of adversity. He faced adversity, and he was able to come through with flying colors. So a good win by Ryan Garcia. A lot of people are saying, what's next for Ryan Garcia? A lot of people are speculating that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be the next opponent, as Ryan Garcia was calling his name out a lot during the lead up to this fight. A lot of people said it was clout chasing. I take him at his word that he really wants to fight. But I'm going to say this. Golden Boy Promotions, people at Golden Boy Promotions don't want that fight next. You know, no matter what Oscar De La Hoya say when he on camera, oh, man, Ryan Garcia will walk through Gervonta Davis. That's not the fight they want next. I don't think that's the fight Oscar De La Hoya want next. I don't think that's the fight matchmaker Eric Gomez want next. Now, I do believe Ryan Garcia wants to fight next. And I believe even Bernard Hopkins wants that fight next. But Ryan Garcia had to do what Canelo Alvarez did when he fought Austin Trout. They didn't want him to fight Austin Trout, but he forced his hand. My bad, Ezralanda Lara, that's the fight. Lara, that was the fight. Even Austin Trout to a smaller degree, but they definitely didn't want him to fight Ezralanda Lara. But Canelo Alvarez demanded that they make that fight, because Ezralanda Lara had disrespected him at the press conference. I think he defeated Anguilla, my bad, Alfredo Anguilla. You know, Lara rushed the press conference, got in his grill, talked a lot of trash, and Canelo Alvarez didn't appreciate that and demanded Golden Boy make that fight. Golden Boy was not thrilled, didn't really want to make the fight, but they bowed down to the Canelo Alvarez's demands and gave him the fight that he really wanted. That's what Ryan Garcia going to do. Canelo Alvarez did the same thing with Austin Trout. You know, you remember they was trying to set up a fight with Canelo Alvarez and Cotto. They were saying, assuming Cotto get through Austin Trout, they was going to set up a matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto lost. Austin Trout upset the apple cart, And Golden Boy was again saying, okay, let's go another direction. We don't want to fight this guy. This guy's a southpaw. This guy's very slick, technical guy that's very defensively responsible, a guy that's a tough, tricky matchup. Let's move on into another direction. Canelo said, nah, he's a champion. I want to unify at 154. He's going to fight. I want to fight him next. And let's fight him next. I'm not going to, go in another direction. If Cotto would have won, I'd have fought Cotto. Now that Austin Trout proved to be the better fighter that night, I'm going to fight Austin Trout. So he demanded that fight. Now, he didn't have as much resistance as for Golden Boy in their front office that they had for the Gervonta Lara fight, but yet still, they were not thrilled about him fighting Austin Trout either. But they really didn't want him to fight Lara, and he demanded both fights and got both fights. And again, that's the example that I'm using as far as Ryan Garcia is concerned. He's going to have to demand that fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. He really wants to make it happen. Now, some other options. I think it's basically two options. I think it's Jorge Linares. It's going to be Jorge Linares or Gervonta Tank Davis. Jorge Linares was a fight that they was looking to make prior to the pandemic. That fight was pretty much scheduled. I think they even had a date set up for that fight. That fight was pretty much set in stone. Ryan Campbell versus Jorge Linares. That was going to be his first step-up fight, his first step-up test. But due to the pandemic, and I think Linares contracted the coronavirus, and the pandemic pretty much shut down boxing for a while, that Golden Boy decided to wait it out and go into another direction, especially when the WBC called the interim title shot between Campbell and Ryan Garcia, and the winner gets a shot at the WBC title. And once they did that, Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions decided to go in that direction. But that's still a fight that they can revisit now that he's coming off his win over Luke Campbell. There's a fight that they can revisit. So that fight there is really in play for Ryan Garcia's next opponent, Jorge Linares, despite the fact that you heard Gervonta Tank Davis' name mentioned before and after the fight with Luke Campbell. So we'll see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But Ryan Garcia will have to pull a Canelo Alvarez is basically what I'm saying, and demand Gervonta Tank Davis, and demand Oscar De La Hoya make that fight next. And if he, demands it, puts his fist down and demand that fight next, Golden Boy has shown in the past that they will respect the fighter's wishes and give them what they really want and what they're asking for. A la Canelo Alvarez versus Gervonta Lara, a la Canelo Alvarez versus Austin Trout. So we'll see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But a great victory last night for King Ryan Garcia over Robin Thicke, a.k.a. Cool Hand Luke Campbell, in a great matchup, in a great entertaining fight that boosted and propelled King Ryan into 135-pound lightweight contender status. And we will see what his next fight will be against and who it will take place and where the fight will take place. We'll see what happens. Leave your comments in the comment section what you think about Ryan Garcia, who you think he should fight next. Will it be Gervonta Tank Davis or will it be Jorge Linares? I think those are the two options and the two likely opponents for Ryan Garcia. Let me know your thoughts and hit the thumb up button if you like the content of this video and help grow my channel. And subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.